Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Planet Stefania. It's great to have you here. This time we're gonna have a deep dive into the frequent flyers feature focus that we had for Planet Zoo 2 this week. So I'm looking forward to diving into all the details with you because we're gonna go frame by frame and see what more we can find, see what details and secrets we can uncover. You know that I love these deep dives and sharing all of this with you all. So let's dive in. Okay, so let me give you an overview here of the first scene that we have here. We have like the walkway, we have this aviary, and here we see some sort of like underground or like a cave path over here carved below the aviary. Here we see, let me move this, we see the bathroom sign. So here this would be sort of like a blueprint, I think. And here, I'm not sure why, but we have like an abandoned castle. Let me zoom in over here. I don't know if you saw this one when you saw the feature focus for the first time, but here we have some sort of abandoned castle. I think this looks like some sort of ruin. And in another shot that we're gonna see in just a few moments, we see a path leading to the castle. So that tells me that there is some sort of storytelling over here, something that we might see in a future feature focus. There is some sort of reason why the castle is over here. I think, of course, this is just speculation. I have no other information. I'm just speculating based on what I'm seeing here. And then we see, of course, the star, the aviary. I want to say that I love these lampposts. I think they are generic, they are general, they can be used for many different like themes and purposes. So I absolutely love this piece over here. And let's see what else we can find over here. I think that's all in this shot. The castle is something that I'm very, very puzzled about. Okay, so let's continue here in this shot. If we move forward just a little bit, we can see this habitat. This is a habitat because we have the glass barrier and we see the people actually looking over here through the barrier. So there has to be some sort of animal here, but we can't actually see it in this shot. And over here we have more habitats, but we don't see anything specific, I think. I love that the foliage is all like in autumn, so I do think that we're gonna have seasonal foliage. But this hasn't been confirmed yet. I think they're saving it for a future feature focus. As much as I think that exhibits will also be like revealed in a future feature focus. I mean, they are improving everything that we've asked for. So why not improve the exhibits? I think we are gonna get some sort of reveal in the coming weeks. I do think that the team will be expanding on exhibits, really. So let's continue. Yes. Okay. Here we go to the next frame. First of all, I love this statue over here, the mom and the baby. I mean, it's super cute. I love that they are having the actual, like the mom and the baby, or the father and the baby. I mean, it's a parent and the baby. And I think that this captures like that cuteness of the owls. Overall, I'm loving the pieces so far. And here we have a closer look at the lamppost, which looks awesome. And if this is recolorable, please, Frontier, make it recolorable. I would love to see this one. I think I'm gonna be using that one in like most projects. Then we see the aviary over here and people walking by the aviary. And again, we see the mysterious castle in the background. And here, let's zoom in. And of course, something that I'm not mentioning, but that in every feature focus, I think is one of the stars of the show, is the foliage. I mean, look at this, like it looks so awesome, especially the grass. I think the grass is adding a huge realistic touch to every scene. Here we move forward and we also see this natural looking area and we are greeted by our beautiful owl, the long-eared owl. Feature focus, frequent flyers. Love this animation over here. You can see the animation. Okay, so now we go to the aviary when they are actually building the aviary with the habitat barriers. Again, we see the mysterious castle. And here, this is what I was mentioning before, that there is some sort of invisible path or the dirt path over here leading up to the castle. So it's not just decoration, it's actually part of the traversable like path for the guests. So there has to be something over here that they're gonna show us at some point, I think. Okay, so going back to the aviary, here we have the tool to create the aviary. We have the habitat barriers, terrestrial roof supports. Here they are adding a roof support, but in an article that we read, we also saw that the supports are optional. So I'm looking forward to seeing why they're saying that these supports are optional. Could it be possible that we will have no roofs, like no barriers at some point? We'll have to see. These are not confirmed yet. But I love the supports themselves. I really do like that they add the realistic touch of like physics, that we need some sort of support for the mesh. So it's really nice. And here we can set the roof curve as well, negative or positive. It says that roof generation requires a valid habitat perimeter and a gate to already be set up. And that's basically how we set up the aviary. Let's zoom in here and see what we can find within the aviary, within the scene. Okay, we have the staff path over here. We can see that the staff path is returning. I love that we have that differentiation. Here we have the keeper gate, and let's see, we have another keeper gate. I'm always looking for 2 or 3 keeper gates, and to see if now we can have multiple keeper gates. That was one of the main quality of life updates that we were asking for in the game. And over here we have the path. We see the staircases. I love the staircases, the path pattern. And here we are just setting up the pillar or the support for creating the aviary mesh. This is some sort of like a shelter. And here I think we can see the nests for the owls over here, where they can actually perch and lay their eggs. We see the rocks, we see the foliage, and this is something that I absolutely love. It's not actually part of the aviary, but I love this decoration on the sides of the bridge. This is created with a path, of course, but they added this decoration with the natural wood and also like these plants over here, and I think it looks awesome. Let me check. Okay, I think this is everything we have here in this scene, so let's move forward. We can basically rotate. As you can see here, we can rotate the supports in most angles. Like we have 2 axes here for rotation, and we can also change their height. So that will change the overall result of the mesh over here. There's a lot of room for customization, and here we can see that there are different options. This one is like, I think, the traditional mesh. This one is more like a rope. I think if we zoom in, let's see. Yeah, I think it looks more like the rope mesh, and this would be great for like primates. And then we see the more traditional opaque mesh over here. And we have 2 more options that the team didn't show in this preview. Then we go to the beautiful owl, and we see the owl flying. Beautiful flying animation, really. And this is where we saw the nests over here from a different angle. We see the water trout. And okay, I think we don't have anything new in this scene. Okay, over here we have another animal confirmation that is actually sort of like hidden in this scene, but I just found it when I saw this one over here. Look at this, we have the panda statue. So we are going to have pandas in Planet Zoo 2 in the base game. I'm so happy. I was like crossing my fingers because I love panda bears, and I can't wait to see the little panda bear in the new Planet Zoo 2 animal style. So I'm very happy with that panda reveal over here. And then, well, I'm assuming that it is a panda reveal, because if we're getting the statue over here, it's sort of like an indirect way of confirming that we are going to get the panda at some point. Here we see the secretary bird. We see the keeper gate over here. Let me see what else I can find. I think that's all that we have in this shot. So let's continue. And we see the secretary bird. Beautiful. Beautiful secretary bird. Let's see what we can find here. We see the Asian pieces over here. I love the Asian pieces. Then we see people looking at the secretary bird. Yeah, and the grass itself looks amazing. If we continue, the secretary bird, the foliage, we see, I think these are bamboo. What I love about the foliage here is that it's mostly looking 3D. Let's look at the terrain texture as well. Here you can see some sort of mud texture, and you can see that it's a little bit wet. And overall, the terrain paint tools, I think the terrain textures are looking amazing. Okay, so let's continue. And I also want to highlight this. this looks like a built-in fence, and I'm actually like loving this one because it looks so much like more general and so much more like, I think, realistic. And I absolutely love this one as well. It's sort of like a concrete barrier. And this one, which is sort of like, it's more appropriate for guests to actually be able to see the animals. So I do like it because personally, I do understand why most people prefer to create custom barriers. But personally, I also like to play with the management aspect of the barriers that actually need maintenance. Using the built-in fences, we can have that additional layer of management with the maintenance that is needed. Otherwise, the barriers break down and the animals escape, and I think that's also part of the fun. Great, so we see a secretary bird eating. Okay, we had something here. Okay, no, I think this is just the staircases. The secretary bird is eating, and now we see something amazing, which is that animal behavior is also going to be influenced by the time of day. The team, in the narration, they say that the owls tend to be nocturnal. So they will be most active at night. That is awesome. We can see the zoo here at night. Let's zoom in and see what we can find. Here we see the lamppost actually like emitting light. We see the keeper. We see the keeper walking to one of the facilities. And now we basically know that the staff facilities will be modular, so we will be able to customize them to our liking. And this is basically, of course, very, very dark. Okay, yeah, it's in the scene we don't have a lot, but the moon, it looks amazing. I think this is also part of the immersion, something that we usually take for granted, but it is also part of the work when you create a 3D game. You have to take care of the skybox and how the clouds will look and the sun and the moon and how everything looks so like natural and realistic. Here we can even see the stars in the sky, and I think that is a really nice touch. Here we can see the little owl just flying at night inside the aviary, and here we can see it in daylight. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we have I think this is the start of the feature focus as well, like the mating, nesting, and egg laying mechanics. Like they have actually mating animations, of course, in the Planet Zoo style, which is something that I personally do like. I don't want realism in that aspect of the game, please. That is my personal opinion. I know that people have different opinions, but I personally like how they are implementing that. They have mating animations, but I don't want the animations to be accurate, please. It's a game, guys. So thank you. And I think it's cute. Then they lay the eggs and they take care of the eggs. They incubate the eggs for a certain time period. That is really, really nice. Then we go to another reveal in this feature focus, which is that we can have mixed species habitats with birds and terrestrial animals. Here we see the hornbill, and the hornbill is basically flying around the enclosure, but inside the same enclosure we have the Malayan tapir. And I love the Malayan tapir, it's beautiful. What more can I say? I think it's beautiful. We also see some waterfalls over here. I'm still curious to know if the waterfalls will be like VFX like we have in Planet Zoo right now, or if they will be more like Jurassic World Evolution 3, or if they will be some sort of middle ground based on the feedback that they've received from the players of Jurassic World Evolution 3. I'm looking forward to that, but still, either way, the waterfalls that they have here look amazing, so the system they've implemented looks amazing, and that is enough for me. I'm happy if they look amazing. Now we see as well, this is interesting. This is sort of like a scratched tree trunk. And I'm curious to know if this will be dynamic or if it's just a decorative item, like part of the foliage. Or if the animals scratch more against it, will it become like more deteriorated? Yeah, that would be amazing. We also see some sort of roofing over here. And I'm not sure if this was created by piece by piece or if this is sort of automatically generated. But this kind of reminds me to the roof that we had in the aquariums feature focus. So maybe this can be automatically generated. Awesome, so we continue. And we see as well, this is also important. Look at how the waterfalls are falling in the water over here. The water is like falling And this is reacting, like you can see the actual water on the ground reacting to the water that is falling from the rocks. You have ripples, you have the water like reacting to that. So there is some sort of additional logic or physics based mechanics in addition to just being VFX, I think, because you can actually see the water moving and the ripples being created. So I think the system is a bit different. And then we see the little baby Malayan tapir, beautiful. I love the little spots. I mean, it looks amazing. And yeah, this was one of my favorite animals in Planet Zoo 1, and I love that it's been like returning in the base game for Planet Zoo 2. Awesome. Now let's see what else we can find here. Okay, we see the staff facility in the back. We see the Malayan tapir over here. And I love that the baby is also interacting with what I assume is the mother. Like, I love those interactions, and I hope that they will be more frequent. Since we already have the herding behavior, I think the parenting behavior is sort of like assumed to be in the game, right? What do you think? Do you think parenting behaviors like in Jurassic World Evolution 3, where the parents need their babies to be okay for them to be okay? Like, I think that will be coming as well. Then we see the hornbill eating from the enrichment item of the terrestrial animals, which is something cool. They also said that birds will also be able to perch on some of the enrichment items. So that is awesome. We have the sprinkler, which is coming back. I really like the sprinkler. And the foliage again looks amazing. I love the baby here just laying next to the mother. And okay, let's see. And then we have the stars of this show, which are the nests. Here, let's zoom in and see what different types of nests we can have. These items, the habitat items, are here in this tab. And we have many different types of nests. Like here we have, based on this is the icon that says, tells you like the size of the item. This is a small one, this is a medium one, and this is a large one. And these are different types of nests. They don't have that size indicator. So they must be for a different type of animal. We already saw in one of the videos that I shared on the channel, reading the article, the behind the scenes article related to birds, the team mentioned that reptiles will also be able to lay eggs on the nests and other birds. So maybe they will have specific nests for different types of animals. Here we can see one that looks a lot like a flamingo nest. So maybe this is softly confirming that we are going to get flamingos. And we also see these like bird houses where they are able to lay their eggs, and we see them in different sizes. Here we can see the small one, the medium one, and I think we have the large one over here, yeah. And we see a color palette. So maybe this is their way of saying that you can customize the colors of this item. That would be awesome. I would love to have different like recolorable areas for the nests. And this one looks sort of like a floating platform. You can see sort of like the edge of the water over here. Maybe this will be for crocodiles because they can like go out of the water and lay their eggs over here. We'll need to see that. But this is a large one. This is a different one because it doesn't actually have a nest in the middle. So I'm curious about that. And this one is a small one. And basically you can see it over here. You can place them and they will claim the nest. Like you can see here with the hornbill. They will land here, and then you can see it with the nest cams. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You can see cavity nest large. Beautiful. I absolutely love that they added the nest cams. I will be definitely taking a lot of time looking at that, and maybe I'll share videos on my channel with those cameras. What do you think? Please share that in the comments. Like, would you like to see like recordings, long recordings of like 20 minutes, half an hour, just looking at the nest cams? I mean, it would be like really nice because we have those in real life, so why not have it in Planet Zoo too? Let me know in the comments. Okay, awesome. Then we see this. I'm very happy to have these items, these backstage items in the game, in the base game. We have like the broom, we have the shovel, we have some storage containers, buckets, we have like this platform, hose. I think this one is a hose. And I love also seeing some sort of the management aspect of the game. We see the power generators And I love their decorations and how they're being laid out. So let's continue. And then we go to another type of aviary, which is a walk-through aviary. They describe it like this. And it's basically an aviary where people can walk inside and they can interact with the animals, basically, or they can see the animals, the birds flying. Here we can see, I love the foliage here, love this flower. Like we have the platform here and you can see the toucans flying and the people actually walking inside the habitats. I mean, it's here we have the platform. They're connecting it with the new pathing tool. And let's see what else we can find. The path builder. Okay, here we have some details on how we have how this tool will work. Here we see the actual pattern on the path. We see the fencing. And I think these are like the curbs that you can see over here below the fencing. And over here we see maybe this will be the supports or the pillars if the path is elevated. We also see an eyedropper tool. Maybe this will be for copying the existing setup for other paths and just continue using that one. And this should be for customization. So I think overall the UI looks very, very intuitive, and that is something that I love. It's not looking like complicated or oversaturated. I mean, everything seems to be intuitive so far. And here we can see the people actually just looking at the birds. We have the vista point over here. Also, take a look at the little Toko toucan and everyone just excited. I mean, I'm so looking forward to having these little guys in the game. Then we see the new and revamped Zoopedia. I really like the redesign. I think it looks a lot like more concise. We have the picture of the animal, we have the statistics, native range, which is South America in the Toko toucan caves, release area. So this one has a release area. That I'm assuming that this would be like a wildlife reserve. We have the enclosure type, periodic food expenses. This will be very helpful for management. Population range, temperament, they are shy, and so they need places for where guests can't actually see them. Cohabitation options, any non-predatory species. And of course, I think this will be like additional information about the species, and these, based on the icon, you can see it over here, I think they will be like the tips that we had, the fun or interesting tips about the animal. Then we see these little icons over here. This should be sort of like the biome or where they are found, like the little map I think that we had in the previous Zoopedia. I'm not really sure what this one would be about. Like, it is a sort of cycle. Maybe it's more about the life cycle of this animal. And this one is the icon that they are using, I think, for the wildlife reserves, or for that network of wildlife reserves. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about what these icons mean. Then we see trading, and let's see, I think we have more information here. Okay, so now we got our answer for this one at least. We see plant population, preferred group ranges. Here we can see male, females, maximum per sex. Over here, thriving relationships. We have now something called thriving relationships and neutral relationships with other species. That would be awesome. That would be interesting. Like, some of them are neutral, some of them are thriving, so they can coexist with these ones, but they do like to coexist with these ones. Then we have the minimum habitat requirements. We have space, shelter, I think, and this would be like traversable area or flyable area, I think. Then we see terrain needs, waterlogged, soil, sand, rock, and grass, environment, the temperature, and the salinity. We also see salinity for the toucan. That is interesting. So what this is telling me is that if we have some sort of salinity requirement for the Toko toucan, and it says fresh water, maybe we can create natural bodies of water with a different salinity, because the Toko toucan can't actually like dive into an aquarium. It has to be a natural body of water, like a lake. So if this is the case and they are saying that this is fresh water, can we change that in the natural body of water? Maybe we can have salt water. Maybe we can have brackish in natural bodies of water. Wow, that got me thinking. I'm just saying that. I just saw that and I'm just thinking out loud with all of you. Like, what do you think about this salinity environment requirement for the toucan? What do you think it means? Looking forward to reading that in the comments. Looking forward to knowing your thoughts. Okay, so then we see offspring dispersal, mating system, dominance. temperament, and if guests can walk through their habitats. We also see some like quick information about the animal. This one would be like the research, and then we see that guests can walk through their habitats, and then we move on to the little babies. I mean, this is so beautiful. Just look at their little faces. I mean, I'm going to record them for hours, really. Just get ready, because on my channel you're gonna see like a lot of footage from these beautiful animals, and I would love to watch them. I mean, I love watching National Geographic documentaries, what can I say? And this is basically a National Geographic documentary that you can actually make yourself. So I would love to see like their behaviors captured in the game. And then we go to the wildlife reserves, because we have confirmation that we can release birds to wildlife reserves, and we see the deers over here, beautiful, like in a whole ecosystem. And wildlife reserves have become like my top feature for Planet Zoo too, really. They combine everything and make the game so much better. And then we see like the team is like here adding more to the more pieces and rocks and foliage to this. I think this is the wildlife reserve, because we don't see anything human made here like this. And it looks very, very natural. I love all the flowers and the foliage that we have here. And then we see this little like teaser of the little bunny. You can see it over here, like bunny, 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 bunny. Here you can see bunny or a rabbit or maybe a hare. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. And especially if it's in the wildlife reserve, like running around just free, it will be amazing. Also, I want to highlight that I love the way these flowers look. Like, they don't look flat. They look actually like 3D. They look really nice from the angle they're showing it and from different angles that we can see it. Also, these flowers, I mean, everything in the foliage here. I mean, this one, just look at this one. I've seen this one in real life and it looks amazing. Like, this one looks amazing as well. Like, what more can I say? Everything is looking awesome so far. So, and then we see pre-order. So you can pre-order, yeah. So now I'm going to keep this trailer, this feature focus running, and to give you my final thoughts. I mean, this one is like one of the best feature focus we've had so far. Everything looks amazing so far. And two of my top wish list items have already been confirmed, like herding, nesting. I also wanted, of course, the birds and aquatics. Like, everything is shaping up to be like the perfect game that, in my personal opinion, I wanted for Planet Zoo 2. Please let me know in the comments down below what features you'd like to see in the game from now on. Personally, I'd like to see a zookeeper mode, a photography mode, and I'd also love to know more about exhibits. Those are the things that I'd like to know more in the coming weeks before we get to Planet Zoo 2, and I just can't wait for October 13th, really. Also, stay tuned on my channel, because I'm sharing posts in the community tab, in the post tab, and I'll keep you informed. I share polls, I share quizzes as well, so we can learn from the Zoopedia, and I share news about Planet Zoo 2. So stay tuned over there, that I'm constantly sharing posts, even if I'm not able to record a full video on some of the announcements. I usually share them there. Thank you very much for watching. I know this was probably if you're still watching this, thank you very much for staying till the end. I know this must have been a very long video so far, because I've been talking a lot and I can see that. So yeah, thank you, and I will see you in the next video.